My husband took his secretary to our anniversary gala. I had just opened my phone when a news alert popped up. Tech CEO Alexander Sterling attends charity gala with wife, donates millions while showing PDA. But I never attended any charity gala. Curious, I clicked the link. In the video, my usually reserved husband walked the red carpet hand in hand with his secretary, even carrying her princess style down the steps. The host couldn't help but gush, Mr. Sterling and Mrs. Sterling are like newlyweds. So romantic. Alexander didn't correct her. He smiled deeply as his secretary, Sophie Williams, playfully made a peace sign at the cameras. My heart dropped. Looks like Mr. Sterling wants a new Mrs. Sterling. Chapter 1. Overnight, Sophie Williams became an internet sensation. That evening, millions flooded her live stream. The chat was buzzing. Mrs. Sterling, what's it like being married to a tech billionaire? Tell us. Sorry if this is too personal, but what does Mr. Sterling look like without the suit? Girl, we already know. His employees leak that he hits the gym every day after work. 8-pack abs and V-lines. OMG Mrs. Sterling, are they as good as they sound? Asking for a friend. Sophie blushed and nodded. Very touchable. The chat exploded. She's blushing. Our billionaire's wife is so cute. From today, I'm protecting their love story. Mrs. Sterling, can you share more about Alexander? He's so mysterious with that face, he should be everywhere, but his fans are starving for content. Last year, Alexander was invited to speak at an international AI conference. The official account posted his speech. And he went viral overnight. His looks and commanding presence won him millions of fans. People constantly stake out the company trying to photograph him. That's why I rarely appear at events with him to protect our privacy. My frown deepened. Why did Alexander take Sophie to this charity gala? Before I could think further, Sophie spoke again. Alexander seems cold, but he's actually very warm in private. Every morning he gives me a good morning kiss, makes me breakfast, texts at lunch to check what I'm eating, and brings home my favorite roses every evening. I feel so blessed, wrapped in love. The chat went wild. Wrapped in love? My mind's in the gutter. Girl with those abs and V-lines, how many rounds we talking? 8 minimum or I'll eat my username. Mrs. Sterling, is he as attentive in bed as he is outside? Gentle and considerate? Sophie covered her flushed face. So gentle, he knows all my spots, being with him is pure bliss. Oh my god, stop. You're all so naughty asking these things. My blood boiled. Right on cue. Alexander texted. Honey, running system tests at the office tonight. We'll be late. Don't wait up. Sleep well. System tests or 8 rounds in someone else's bed? In the live stream, Sophie was sharing more intimate details at her viewers' insistence. Every night he showers thoroughly, says it's respectful to women. I typed in the chat. Sophie Williams, you're just a secretary. Stop pretending to be Mrs. Sterling. The chat went silent. Then attacks began. Where's your owner, dog? Why are you barking here? How dare you use our Mrs. Sterling's full name? Apologize now or Mr. Sterling will track your IP and destroy you. I revealed myself. I'm the real Mrs. Alexander Sterling. Sophie, clear out your desk tomorrow. You're fired. Sophie's face flashed with fear before she quickly ended the stream. Alexander didn't come home that night. Chapter 2. The next morning, I stormed into the office. Alexander, looking exhausted, perked up when he saw me. He pulled me into his office, embracing me lazily. Honey, why so early? Did you miss me because I didn't come home? Remembering last night, I was furious. Hearing Sophie's voice outside, I pushed Alexander away. I'm dealing with someone. Then we'll settle accounts. Sophie lowered her head when she saw me. Her eyes were swollen, clearly she'd cried all night. Ma'am, you're here. Her voice was barely a whisper. Let's go to the conference room. I'll explain everything. I crossed my arms, voice booming. Say it here. Save the victim act. And who's your sister? Call me Mrs. Sterling. Sophie looked tearfully at Alexander. He explained casually, honey, you saw the charity gala video? I forgot to tell them you weren't coming. They'd prepared your spot and activities, so I took Sophie. With all those cameras, I couldn't let people think we have marriage problems, right? The RZ&D manager interrupted, saying there was a product issue needing Alexander's attention. Sophie tried to follow but Alexander stopped her. My wife's still upset. You stay. I got straight to the point. Sophie, explain the live stream. Her face went through several colors. Mrs. Sterling, I'd been drinking. I spoke carelessly. You know my parents are sick, my brother needs money for his wedding. My salary isn't enough, so I tried live streaming for extra income. Seeing so many viewers for the first time, I got carried away. Everything about Mr. Sterling was made up. I'll post a video clarifying everything and apologizing. Sophie dropped to her knees. Please don't fire me. I need this job. When I didn't respond, she started slapping herself. The sound echoed through the office. Sophie was one of Alexander's scholarship recipients. I knew her family situation well. Watching her swell her own face, blood at her mouth corners, I softened. No more fantasies. No next time. Or I, Charlotte Foster, won't be merciful. I glanced at the conference room. Alexander looked serious, must be a real problem. I left without saying goodbye. My best friend Madison called, teasing. Miss Foster, heard you laid down the law at the office? Why spare Mr. Sterling? I snapped, he's busy. I'll deal with him tonight. Madison turned serious. I heard the organizers never expected Mrs. Sterling to attend. After all, no one's ever convinced you to appear before. My heart sank. This wasn't simple. Chapter 3. In the dim light, I fell into thought. Alexander and I had an arranged marriage between our families. Though we lacked an emotional foundation before marriage, he'd given me complete security after. Daily surprises, never repeating in 365 days. He maintained triple the normal distance from other women. Before Sophie, even his secretaries were male. With his looks, body, and abilities, how could I not fall for him? The door opened. Alexander entered quietly. He loosened his tie, gently pulling me into his arms. Honey, I'm home. Seeing my silence, he playfully tapped my nose. First time seeing you jealous. Like an angry kitten. I wasn't appeased. I'm not a kitten. I'm a tigress. Go find your little wife. Aren't you afraid people will think you're cheating? Alexander laughed. Still mad at Sophie? She's just a girl who got carried away with sudden attention. Some vanity. Is normal. She's posted a clarification and apology. The comments are all attacking her considerate revenge for you. Honey, I swear there's nothing between Sophie and me. His gaze was sincere. I softened. The Sterling and Foster families' interests were deeply intertwined. Besides, Alexander came home every night, working hard to please me. When would he have time or energy for Sophie? As long as he was willing to back down, I could give him an out. But remembering Madison's warning, I turned serious. I held his face, warning, Alexander, you know I have a cleanliness obsession. I never share. I married you not just for the alliance, but because unlike other rich boys, you're clean and pure. If you become dirty, I'll be disgusted. Don't make me stop loving you. Alexander nodded. Honey, I'll only ever be yours. He pressed me down. Tonight, I'll punish myself 3 times, okay? I pushed his chin with my elbow. Wait. One condition: Sophie must be transferred. Whatever Mrs. Sterling says. Chapter 4. The next morning, Alexander and I arrived at the office hand in hand. I went straight to HR. Sophie lacks ability. What positions suit her? Mrs. Sterling, we just had a janitor quit. I nodded. Perfect. Suits her, nothing requiring brains. Minutes later, HR announced Sophie's transfer. Under everyone's shocked gazes, Sophie asked defiantly, Mrs. Sterling, according to labor law, transfers need valid reasons, otherwise. I cut her off with a laugh. Newcomers should start from the bottom, shouldn't they? If you don't like it, pack up and leave. Plenty of people want. In. Familiar footsteps behind me. Sophie looked tearfully at Alexander. Mr. Sterling. Mr. Sterling, any objections? Alexander smiled casually. Such trivial matters are yours to decide. Sophie seemed to lose all strength. Mrs. Sterling, I accept. She changed into janitor clothes and went to clean toilets. The crowd whispered. She had it coming. Acting high and mighty with Mr. Sterling's favor, looking down on everyone. Should I leave her a special present in the bathroom? Absolutely. Remember how she bossed us around when she first came? Let's gross her out. I glanced at Alexander. Seeing no reaction, I relaxed and went for a spa day with Madison. Chapter 5. HR kept Sophie busy with physical labor. Alexander ignored it all. A peaceful month passed. Our 3rd anniversary approached. I took Madison shopping. We spotted Alexander entering a jewelry store. Your man's good. Despite being swamped with work, he remembers your anniversary. Truly our circle's 5-star husband. Madison praised him endlessly. I glowed with happiness. At home, I prepared a candlelit dinner, wearing Alexander's favorite outfit, waiting. But by 8, he hadn't appeared. I colled no answer at first, then his phone was off. Alexander never ignored my calls. Even with important matters, he'd answer and explain. My heart clenched. Had something happened? I frantically called his new secretary. He stammered, unable to say where Alexander was or what he was doing. Easy to guess. Alexander wasn't at the office or detained by work or legitimate company. Unless it was Sophie. My heart sank. I quietly enjoyed my carefully prepared dinner alone. As I finished the last steak, the door burst open. Alexander stormed in, furious. Charlotte Foster, I thought you were just spoiled. I didn't know you'd lost your humanity. Sophie made mistakes. She's been cyberbullied, workplace bullied, demoted to cleaning toilets. She's been punished enough. Why attack her family too? Do you want them all dead? Is tormenting a powerless girl that fun? Seeing me calmly sipping wine, his anger intensified. He swept everything off the table. China shattered. Alexander warned, be a better person. Stop pushing my limits. He stormed out. The space returned to quiet. I searched online, quickly finding Sophie's new account. She wore an exquisite necklace, bragging. Mr. Sterling's special gift for my 1-year work anniversary. He said there's been too much negativity lately, so he's giving me time off to recover. He wants me back as his energetic secretary. Actually, I just need his comfort. I laughed in anger. Such public displays of affection, how could I not help spread the word? I forwarded the link to Madison. Maddie, get your media company's accounts moving. By morning, I want this boss secretary romance trending everywhere. Alexander, I warned you I'm not nice. Cross me and pay the price. Chapter 6. Madison owned a successful media company with hundreds of influencer accounts. That night, every marketing account posted congratulations. Secretary's 1-year anniversary, tech CEO Alexander Sterling gifts $1 million jewelry. Millions of bot comments appeared. Whose secretary gets $1 million anniversary gifts? Oh, Mr. Sterling's. Who protects the secretary's feelings? Her CEO, of course. Mr. Sterling, your secretary looks like Mrs. Sterling. Trading new for old? Is Mr. Sterling's company hiring? Asking for the $1 million gift. By morning, multiple hashtags trended. Secretary $1 million gift, CEO protects secretary's feelings, Alexander Sterling, Sophie Williams. The charity gala and live stream resurfaced. Rich people's scandals attracted massive attention. Rich circles are wild. Mr. Sterling and his secretary are shameless. This CEO used to act all cold and distant, all fake. I'm unfollowing. He used to keep 10 feet from any woman. I thought he had issues. All an act. The wife is pitiful. Yesterday was their anniversary. Sterling and Foster families are allied by marriage. I sense a corporate war coming. Online criticism exploded. Alexander called immediately. Charlotte Foster, was this you? I admitted freely. Yes, it was me. How can I help you, Mr. Sterling? Sophie was right. You're a vicious woman. She's already suffering, yet you won't let go. To force her out, you had doctors refuse her mother treatment, threw her out like an animal. Don't deny it. I laughed. 3 years and my bedmate didn't know my style. I had methods, yes. But when I destroyed someone, it was openly, letting them know exactly why. Besides, I didn't waste time on gutter insects. Alexander, believe whatever you want. You're nothing to me now. I won't waste time explaining. Won't explain, or afraid you'll disgust yourself more. And what's wrong with giving my employee a gift? You spend more on random bags. Was it worth exposing our families to public ridicule? Your father's smart, how'd he produce such an idiot? I was livid. The door burst open. My parents stormed in. They grabbed my phone, unleashing on Alexander. You little bastard, who are you to lecture my daughter? If old man Sterling hadn't begged for this marriage, swearing on his life Charlotte would never suffer, you think I'd look at you? Alexander was silenced. Dad continued, you keep a mistress and dare question my daughter? Sterling broke his promise. I'll go collect his head. Alexander panicked. The Foster family had a direct reputation. Pushed too far, we were capable of anything. Father-in-law, let's talk calmly. Clean your mouth. Who's your father-in-law? The moment you hurt my daughter, you became nothing to me. Alexander knew he couldn't win and hung up. My eyes reddened, lips trembling as I looked at my parents. Mom immediately hugged me. Charlotte, don't cry. That scum isn't worth it. I shook my head. Children only show vulnerability to their parents. After calming down, I asked tentatively, Mom, Dad, if Sterling and Foster families split, will it hurt us badly? We were allied by marriage. Last night I'd acted impulsively, making it public. This created a rift, and Alexander was dirty now. I couldn't stay married. This meant dividing the family's interests. Mom smiled. Your father's no fool. He prepared for this when arranging the marriage. Right. If we split, Sterling suffers more. They look glamorous but they're hollow inside. Old Sterling couldn't manage. Years of bad investments had drained them. Only Alexander's tech company remained viable. But I knew their last product had serious issues, otherwise they'd have announced it. I smiled in relief. Then I'm definitely divorcing. Chapter 7. Dad immediately called old Sterling to discuss divorce proceedings. Hearing about divorce, Sterling groveled, in law, they say better to destroy a temple than a marriage. The kids were happy. Alexander was wrong, I admit. But I'll tie him up and bring him to apologize. Charlotte can punish him however she wants. Can we postpone divorce talk? I didn't hold back. Uncle Sterling, I don't want a dirty man. It's disgusting. Silence on the other end. That evening, the Sterlings dragged Alexander to our house. His suit was wrinkled. Face marked with red prints. Clearly he'd already faced Sterling family discipline. I found it amusing. Alexander used to radiate success and elite energy. After just days apart, he looked defeated. Especially with his swollen face, nothing like the man I'd once adored. I even felt repulsed. He was forced to kneel before me. Sterling Sr. shouted, apologize to Charlotte. Alexander reluctantly squeezed out 3 words, I'm sorry. I rolled my eyes. No sincerity. Sterling Sr. grabbed the stick my dad offered, beating Alexander's back mercilessly. Alexander Sterling, listen carefully, if Charlotte doesn't forgive you, don't bother coming home. I'm sorry. Alexander's voice softened. But I was done listening. I called security. Throw them out. Guards lifted Alexander by his limbs and tossed him out our gates. When I love someone, they're my world. When I stop, they're worthless insects. A crowd surged forward, photographing Alexander on the ground. He tried hiding his face. Who are you? Why are you filming? Mockery erupted. Is this the suave Mr. Sterling? How the mighty have fallen. What happened to your face? Swollen like a pig. I knew Foster would kick him out. Charlotte Foster, our queen of destroying scumbags. I was obsessed with him. Mom was right, my taste in men sucks. Former fans loved him completely when they did. Once that ended, they became vicious. The next day, these fans posted videos online. Unlike simple criticism, this was mass humiliation. People made before/after comparisons. The difference was astronomical. Alexander Sterling became a punchline. Those he'd once stepped on posted gleefully. Every man knows to keep mistresses quiet. What happens otherwise? Ask Mr. Sterling. So pure. Giving up everything for a nobody secretary. I'm touched. LMAO, wasn't Sterling an elite? Why's his face like a pig's? Mr. Sterling, need a plastic surgeon? Get a new face, otherwise I'll laugh every time. I munched popcorn, screenshotting everything for future entertainment. Chapter 8. Days later, divorce papers went to the Sterlings. Alexander called, furious. Charlotte Foster, you're robbing me. Leaving me with nothing. I won't sign. Even dogs bite when cornered, let alone people. I'll drag this out through the cooling period. You'll never be free of me. I said quietly, really? I have ways to make you divorce. Like your product problems. Alexander tensed. What do you know? Not much. Just why it hasn't launched, all the specifications. What if your competitors knew? Alexander deflated completely. Give me time to think. 3 days maximum. 3 days later, we finalized our divorce. Leaving the courthouse, I spotted Sophie in the passenger seat. My former exclusive spot, finally taken. Sophie saw me too. Her gaze was provocative, triumphant. Like a victor. I smiled back, telling Alexander, oh, here's a divorce gift. Alexander received dozens of screenshots. Sophie's chats with the hospital director. She'd asked him to throw her mother out, dump her on the street, then blame me. The director helped because she'd paid with her body. Alexander broke down completely. The day before our anniversary, Sophie had tearfully called Alexander, begging him to save her mother. Alexander already felt guilty about Sophie's workplace treatment. When he arrived, he saw staff dumping Sophie's mother on the street, cursing her. Furious, he beat the doctor and confronted the director. The director blamed everything on me. Said the Fosters were major shareholders. I wanted the mother out, couldn't refuse. Alexander's expression went from disbelief to rage. Finally, he laughed bitterly. Who was Alexander Sterling? Self-proclaimed genius, played for a fool by Sophie. This wasn't just crossing lines, it challenged his humanity. Alexander furiously dragged Sophie from the car. Confused, Sophie kept asking, Mr. Sterling, what's wrong? Please say something, you're scaring me. Alexander grabbed her throat, roaring, Sophie Williams, is playing me that fun? I've lost almost everything. Happy now? Sophie struggled. Mr. Sterling, I don't understand. Murder flashed in Alexander's eyes. I'll enlighten you. When you traded your body to that bald director, weren't you disgusted? Sophie stopped struggling, forcing out, Mr. Sterling, you know? Sophie Williams, you disgust me. Alexander threw her to the ground hard. He started his car and ran her over without hesitation. The ground turned red. The courthouse was next to the police station. Officers responded immediately, checking street cameras, quickly arresting Alexander for murder. I was stunned when I heard. I hadn't expected them to end this way. Chapter 9. A month later, I visited him in prison. Alexander looked haggard. He gripped the phone, crying. Charlotte, I'm in such pain. Nightmares and dreams torture me. If I'd trusted you then, or asked one more question, or ignored her completely, would we still be the couple everyone envied, walking through life together? I didn't answer. There are no what-ifs, no do-overs. After one failed marriage, my parents agreed outside men were unreliable. The Foster empire would eventually be mine. They wanted me to learn the business. I agreed, better to rely on yourself. I started from the bottom at Foster Corp, accumulating experience. 3 years later, I officially entered core leadership. Someday I'd take my father's burden. Led Foster Corp forward. That day, like tomorrow's sunrise, wasn't far off. The end.